Dark Souls 3, new cut, new me. Bro, I'm gonna be honest with you, this could be the best From Software entry. I'm not even capping. The core of a Souls game is the bosses. I think everyone agrees. Yes, they have some other stuff that makes them special, but they are mostly known for that. Known for those moments of holy shit! And my man Miyazaki decided to give it all here. It is kind of lacking when it comes to the world, the atmosphere, the level design, but today is a good day and I'm here to talk about the good stuff. More precisely, I am gonna rank all 25 bosses from Dark Souls 3, going from the stinky F tier all the way up to the top of the top. So get ready, leave a like, and let's go, you man of culture. Yundex Gundi. Homie, it's as I said in my Sekiro boss tier list video, From Software has some kind of kink when it comes to making you shit your pants on the first boss. They must think it's so funny. And in my case, it was even worse. The first time I played DS3 was on my at the time computer that wasn't properly from NASA, which meant that I had to play it below 30 FPS. Optimal? No. So you can imagine that seeing Venom coming out of that dude in 15 frames a second isn't really the best thing for my heart health. But we stay here in the whoa, what the hell part, cause the rest of the fight is fairly simple. Not bad by any means, and it got us a burp upgrade later on the game, but simple. It's the first boss, so there's not a lot to ask. And for a first boss, it's one of the best in the From Software roster, so it gets the B tier. Holy, what the fuck is this? Oh, it's this guy. Vort of the Boreal Valley. What a waste of an epic music. I have the theory that they messed up in some point in the making of this game, because this music was supposed to be for Dancer or something. Because the fight does not hold up to the spectacle of the music, that's for sure. Actually, look at this. See? Can you see? They fucked up. Somewhere along the line, they fucked up. And hey, the boss isn't bad, no, it's just simple. Stick to the butt. Dodge the thrusts. Done. Probably even easier than Venom himself. Not cooler, easier. But the music, that's what messes up my head. It just doesn't belong there, bro. It gets the C tier, but S tier for the music. Now this is a bad one. How is it named? Cursed Rotten Greatwood. This guy, whatever, is that kind of boss that is completely optional. You don't even need to look at the thing, but I still defeat it. Her. In every playthrough. I mean, it gives you souls, and it's a way for me to unleash my wrath upon it. She. Her. Can someone help me identifying this shit? It's just overall boring and annoying. The way that you enter the second phase, it's completely unexpected, I give you that, but then you reach the ground and it's still boring and annoying. And not even the design helps, because what the fuck is this? I'm not amazed, I'm just confused and bored. And if I found this at night, I'd probably be horny. It gets the D tier. Okay, next up, another mediocre one, Crystal Sage. The first lineup of bosses is really underwhelming. Maybe it's to prepare you for the craziness that's yet to come. But well, Crystal Sage. So, you know, it's Crystal Sage, yeah, you know. It's a crystal that's a sage. He is a mage, he uses magic, and he is kinda shit. Yep, he is boring as hell too. And annoying because of the clone thing. Not the greatest of fights, but also not the worst, I guess. He is the definition of it's a boss because it has a health bar, otherwise it would be a normal enemy. And he is a normal enemy when you reach the end of the game. So you know what, I had it in C tier, but he actually goes to the D tier. Fuck this guy. But fuck even more the next dudes. No one, not a single soul alive likes this fight. Not even the dead. Yep, I can agree. I actually think it is impossible to like it. From Software made all they could to make this fight as dislikable as humanly possible. It had to be their main goal, there is absolutely nothing enjoyable about this. Running in circles, trying to attack the right dude, then you attack him, give him like 3 hits, and then you start running away again like a crazy ass motherfucker. But now with the stress that if you don't kill them fast enough, they will start to heal, because Miyazaki is a bad man. It's just not an okay boss, and I really don't have the patience, and I have died more times to it than I'd like to admit. Because I really do not have the patience, and clearly lack some motor functional skills, because dying to these guys? Sheesh! F tier. Finally some good shit. Finally! The Abyss Watchers are the first actually good boss. Nothing against the spear guy, he's cool and all, but the Abyss Watchers just reach a different level of quality. And are also the first big challenge of the game, boss-wise. Fuck this area. I suffered on my first playthrough against them. So much faster than what I was used to, much more complex combos. And yo, there are 3 dudes at the arena, 4 if you count me in. This was so cool when I first saw it, because they are not only focusing me, there's a cool guy helping. Love you, bro. Then you reach the second phase and it's even better. Really cinematic and whoa! Nowadays, I only wish it was harder and had a bigger health pool, because it's really enjoyable to fight him once you get into the flow of the fight itself. And it's really beautiful, and it's amazing, and it's the first S tier of the video. Hell yeah! But now it's time to get back to the mediocre stuff. Hi Lord Yolnir. And right off the bat, I don't think it is as bad as most people say. Wait, don't start typing. Listen to me. I just love his design and the atmosphere of the whole thing. But I have to admit that fighting him is kind of simple. Maybe too much simple. Go there, fuck up a bracelet, retreat, do it again 2 more times. It doesn't seem very complex, and it isn't very complex, but I mean, it goes by very quickly, it doesn't annoy me that much, and again, I love the design. So it gets the C tier from me. Next up, Old Demon King. What a big waste of potential. The last of its kind. This shit could have been epic. But no, it's just sad. He even starts to stumble when you get him low enough on health. And maybe there's a chance that this was Miyazaki's point, to make him feel sad, hopeless, because you are essentially making a type of species go extinct. But that shit is not my cup of tea. It's easy as fuck, I don't like the area, the attacks are annoying, overall a bad-ass fight. So it goes into the D tier, but it doesn't get the D, even with his big butt. I don't know what I'm saying. Pontiff Sulyvahn, and we return to the good bosses. This one is mostly known for being the true challenge, the separation to see if you will be able to end the game or not. I don't really have that experience. It is a fairly okay boss to defeat once you get into the flow of his fight, but all of the rest is great. Music, banger. Area, banger. A quote-unquote gang fight done good, shit, that is a banger. Entry to the fight, big church with him just standing there, looking at you and your clearly not well thought life choices, banger. Pontiff Sulyvahn is the perfect boss to open up the A tier. And we keep with this great quality, because we have reached Yorn the Giant. And let me just say that he is absolutely underrated. Boss fights usually are divided in 2 ways that I divide them, because yeah, they are either fun and cool and different, or they are shit. I will show you the way that you attack him so you can take your own conclusions. Big sword, very much hair, boom, fuck the Titan. You also have the option of toothpicking his feet, but yeah, don't do it. I can agree on it being on the easier side, but if you solely take in consideration the pure spectacle of the fight, he's actually very fun. And that's exactly what I'm gonna take in consideration. Take that, communists. A tier. Next up, Aldrich, the Devourer of Gods. Another great man with a great design, and here I even have to mention its great lore. You are telling me that he ate the gods, like actually devoured them. Nom 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 nom. You are telling me that he absolutely swallowed those mega badongers. Yeah, I'm not even jealous, bro. Fucking bitch. Also, great fight. It's again not really on the hard part of the spectrum. He has the ability to basically skin you alive with his arrows, and he has a creepy ass design. So there's nothing less than an A tier. Shit, I'm fucked. Dancer of the Boreal Valley. Her entrance could make the fight alone so creepy, ooh. But thankfully that's not her only plus. Amazing moves, Beyblade attack, big damages and delays. The design is also great and the vibe is immaculate. People usually say that she's ungodly hard, and even though I do not have that opinion, I think she's very manageable. But I mean, that's not really what makes a fight great or not great, so she gets also the A tier. You see? It's getting packed. And I can say the exact same thing about the next one, Dragon Slayer Armor. This guy, this piece of hollow metal is even more underrated than the giant himself. I don't get why no one talks about this dude. I mean, okay, I kinda know why. Dark Souls 3 is kinda overflooded with epic bosses, so he could pass under some radars. But he's actually like very good. He has tons of combos and variations, does an absurd amount of damage, so you have to be on your toes the entire fight, and the second phase is epic. By the way, story time. My first playthrough of Dark Souls 3, after the one on my computer, which I didn't finish because of FPS reasons, my first proper one, I was struggling against this dude. Death after death, I kept trying, and when I was on the verge of killing him, second phase, lots of heals, blood pumping, my controller died. I searched the cable as fast as humanly possible. I don't even know how I did it. I just know that I plugged it in and finished the kill. Tough shit, man. So, yeah. A tier for the electrocuting guy. Okay, now it's time to turn down a bit and getting to the point that most of you will probably start typing and calling me all sorts of things. Osiris the Consumed King. I think that this fight is complete mid. I mean, I don't dislike him. Vibe-wise, great. He starts speaking to a dead child mid-combat. That's freaking cool. But all of the rest is as mid as it could get. I don't like the design. The area is dull. The attacks are very not the best. And he is a fucking tank, which mixed with the fact that I don't really like his overall moveset makes this fight even more into a task. But still, it's not the worst as I said. It's probably the most 5 out of 10 fights that I can think of. So it gets the C tier, right on the middle. But this next one is cool. Also has a shit ton of health, but in this case it's okay because I said so. Champion Gundyr. So, they took the first boss, which was already cool, gave him some new attacks, gave him a carbon fiber armor, and turned a pretty good fight into an all-out brawl. Not the most epic fight ever, it is very simple, attack, dodge, but it was made like perfectly on what it tries to do. It really feels like a dance that sometimes ends on you being cut down, but a cool dance. And for that, this great fight, great brawl, goes right on the A tier too. Pretty cool. Now let's get into one of my favorites. With all of my heart and soul, I do not understand how are these guys not talked more. Even with the crazy shit that is yet to come up front on the video, I really think that the twins should be more spoken about. If what I said about the last boss is true on it feeling like a dance, here you are fucking doing breakdance, because look at the moves. He's really fast, but the time in between attacks is always enough for you to dodge perfectly. It feels so smooth, so effective. The mechanic of reviving the younger brother on the second phase doesn't feel cheap, and it prolongs the fight even more, which, having in consideration the smooth nature of the fight and the satisfaction that you feel while you are dodging, is not a problem at all. Also, he has tons of damage and has basically the ability to one-shot you, which means that you have to be in the fight all the time. You have to be concentrated, you have to be there. Dodge. So fucking great. Nothing less than an S tier, which is almost the complete opposite of the next one. Ancient Wyverns. So, is this shit? Yes. I mean, his design is cool, I guess. The way you have to kill him is very annoying because you have to run past these dudes. But honestly, I'd rather fight 10 of these than another dick that is deep. So, it goes to the D tier. I'm being generous here. Another crazy-ass, bitch-ass duel. I don't think that the Nameless King is as difficult as other people say that he is, but I'll touch on that in a bit. I love this fight! Putting aside the first phase, not the biggest fan. I mean, it's okay now and I have grown to like it, because I used to hate it. The weird bird gets out of sight very easily, it's really frustrating trying to attack the head, but after killing it a few times I don't think that it is as bad nowadays. Still, the main event, the main course is and will always be the king himself. A mano-a-mano fight doesn't get much more badass than this. Mysterious, unbelievable arena? Oh my. Electrocuting shit with a badass guy? I'm about a nut! Fantastic, nothing to say, 10 out of 10. Now, the difficulty part. I mean, look, a boss being hard, or being easy, it's not the determined factor on the quality of the boss itself. But I have to admit, I got a little disappointed when it came to this guy, because everyone said that this was the true fucking fight. The hardest boss on Dark Souls 3. Guy was almost impossible. Bro, I died more times to the bird. I actually think I died to the Nameless King himself a total of 3 times. Not the bird. The bird fucked me over. But the king was disappointing. I mean, he has tons of delays and does a big amount of damage, but at that time in the game, at that point in the game, I really thought that he was very manageable. Maybe I was a little over leveled, but I have defeated him more than 3 or 4 times, and every time I think to myself, this bird sucks, and this guy is okay in terms of difficulty. But regardless of all of that, it gets the S tier, because he's badass. Look at him. And with this, we have reached the last boss of the game. And man, I do love him. And I mean the last boss of the main game. I'll also be ranking the ones in the DLC, so stick your butt in the chair and watch the video, okay? So, Soul of Cinder. Man, there couldn't have been a better way to make a last final boss. It is very challenging. It has tons of combos, like an absurd amount of combos to keep you aware. It has an amazing arena backed up with a music that, my man, and when the second phase hits, From Software really knows how to make fan service. They really know how to make their fans hard. And I don't even mind. To conclude, everything around this fight culminates the philosophical theme that From Software tried to touch. About letting things of the past go, because yes, sometimes it's really the best for me to let go of that time where I almost shat my pants while throwing a heavy ball at school. S tier. Okay, now DLC time. And for such an epic DLC, with tons of epic stuff from the areas to the weapons themselves, it's a shame that the first boss is actually my least favorite in the entire game. The champion Gravetender and his little big buddy. He shouldn't be worse than this, guys. But for some reason, it just ticks every boss of annoyingness on a boss. Wolves prior to the fight to fuck me over? Check. Annoying way of fighting? Check. A big fucking fast enemy that comes in the middle of the fight to disrupt the pacing and that is not very likable to kill? Check. You see this little Japanese man?
I'm not afraid to use it.
He goes to the F tier, and one more like him and you go to the grave tier. Oh shit. Banger after banger, and I would banger. I told you about Dark Souls 3. Even with a slow start and some shit heads in the middle, the bosses catch up, and do catch up a lot. Sister Fried is basically a perfect boss. A first phase that is kinda easy, but that has some slick tricks like invisibility for you to always be aware to save your heals. A second phase that is a gang fight done good, the worst of the bunch, but completely okay. And a third phase, yes, a third phase, where she decides to finally show her true value and get revenge on the hentai that you watched of her. Because yes, we all know you did it. Timmy, if this phase was the only phase, it would be S tier regardless. What an epic duel and what a difficult one. It's a third phase, so that should be enough, but no, she has tons of damage, she's very fast, and the attacks! Oh, it doesn't get much better than that. It does get better, but not much better. S tier. Next up, a pretty good one also, the Demon Princess. And once again, a well done gang fight. Probably the best in the entirety of the series. They really learned their shit on the DLC. Then fucked it up on Elden Ring, fucked up real time. But anyway, it's great. They nailed this fight. Sometimes one is aggressive and the other is probably smoking, then they switch up, which makes the fight very variable. And then you also have the option of choosing which boss you will fight on the second phase, depending on what boss you decide to kill last. And bro, what a second phase it is. I honestly think that if it was on a more epic arena and had some more badass attacks, this would be S tier for most, including for me. But at the state that it is, it gets the A tier. And he also gets the A tier because he's on an area that has this guy is throwing me this shit, and just, you know what? Boom! Fuck you, Miyazaki tier. There you go. And this next one was actually very close to join them. Half-Life Spear of the Church. Not because it's annoying, but because I really do not like him. And yes, he is annoying. I don't play these games online. I know, insult me, it's the way I like to play them. So, every time I defeated this guy, he was the NPC, which is dull as fuck. Then, you also add the fact that you have to kill this guy before he starts to heal him, which makes it very stressful and annoying still.
So man, it gets nothing less than an F tier.
I mean, it was like, yo, Sister Free, yo, Demon Princess go brrr, and then this shit, F tier. So, me dear, huh? Would you believe that technically it took me like 3 years to beat? Yep. First time I played BS3, I got my ass so beaten, like so badly, that I didn't even try in subsequent playthroughs. I mean, this bird took me so much time to defeat. I know it's not a bird, it's a dragon, but anyway. If this bird took me so much time, imagine how much time I would be on Dark Eater Midir. So I just let it go. Don't think about him, you don't need to defeat him, you don't need to prove anything, but actually I do. Last year, and if you saw my GOTY video, you know, I decided to kill every boss that I haven't defeated yet. And yeah, I went there and got my ass again, not in great shape. But this time I didn't give up. I forced my way to the victory, and again, what a feeling, that rush of dopamine that these games give, man. And I didn't even need to open TikTok, you junkie fucks. Even though I only defeated him once to this date, it still managed to be one of my favorite fights in the entire series. He has so much combos, man. He does so much damage. His health bar makes you go insane. His design is brutal. His arena is... oh my god! It is probably the best dragon fight that From Software did. Or at least tied to this one. S tier. And we've reached the end. And also we've reached my favorite fight of Dark Souls 3. And probably the favorite fight of the majority of the players from Dark Souls 3. Slave Knight Gale, and it's more than deserved. It again checks every damn thing that you need to get right to make a good boss. Entering that never-ending sea of sand, only to get stomped by a crazy man that does front flips and has lightning helping him. Bro, it's great! And adding on, they made a decision that made all the difference in the fight. So, instead of giving him 2 separate health bars, they decided to give him one big chunky health pool. Which means that every attack that you did basically scratched his butt. It fills you with hopelessness and you think that you will be there forever. And if you don't get good, you are probably gonna be there forever. Because at each step of the fight, it gets crazier and crazier. And you just stare in awe, seeing a crazy man fucking you up. You are just there, trying to dodge, trying to survive, trying to dance with him. Because that's the best thing you can do. Try to seduce him, because he will fuck you up, man. Without a doubt, the best possible way to end the masterpiece of a trilogy that is Dark Souls. And it goes right on top of the S tier. And with this, another tier list completed. And one that probably has the best overall quality of bosses in the entire series. Yes, it has some low points, but when it gets to the highs, man, it gets to the highs. Amazing game with even more amazing bosses. And so, this is it. Thanks for watching. Get ready for the Bloodborne tier list, and peace, man of culture. This cat is so very, 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 very cute. Meow.